John. I suppose the first of 3 cup finals against Dundalk on Friday night. Big game.
Yeah, it's a great game to look forward to. I suppose. Look at, as I said, it's our 10th game. This season we have Dundalk at home twice, so it's good. I think you can see with the way the league is shaping up. Rovers, Dundalk, ourselves, Bows are on the outskirts, Pats are still there. So it's a great game to look forward to. Obviously, we're going to have a full house, and I'm sure there's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. And look at, I suppose, the situation. Most people think Dundalk will win the league this year. It's up to us to see where we're at. I think we're better than we were last year, and we've started the season well. And we're all looking forward to it.
It was a huge, I suppose, 3 losses to them last year. It seems a bit obvious now to say it was the difference between winning and losing the league, but you really have to be beating the teams in the mix, don't you? The unbeaten teams still.
Well, you can't lose them, that's for sure. I think it's one of those ones that last year was last year, and look, we were fantastic, and the lads did brilliantly last year. This year we've a new team, and we've a different style of play, and I think you can see defensively we've been a lot better than last year. Attacking wise we've been a lot better because we scored a lot more goals, and overall our passing and our playing has been much better, and home form has been excellent. So it's going to be a fantastic challenge for us, and we're looking forward to it. But certainly when you play the big teams like this, if you lose against the big teams throughout the season, it is going to cost you the end. So it's important. But look, I suppose the big thing for us is we're looking forward to it. It's still early in the season. There's still 24 games to go, so it's a long way. So either way, a result, on Friday night won't determine the league by any means. And Rovers, obviously, and Pats are still there, so there's a long way to go. But it's nice the fact that this year we have Dundalk twice at home, and I suppose we trained this morning, and after last night, everyone is looking forward to the game, and we're all hoping that we can give a very good performance.
Unfortunately, just seem to have run into a clatter of injuries all at the one time.
Yeah, it's unfortunately these things happen. I suppose if you look back on it, the big difference between this year and last year is that last year we got a clean run early in the season because we didn't have a big panel. At least this year, while it isn't ideal, I prefer to have a full strength team to pick from. At the same time, the situation is that at least our strength and depth is much better, and when 1 or 2 guys are out injured, we can bring other fellas in who keep the standard of the team up. So that's the good side of it. But yeah, unfortunately there will be a couple of guys that will miss Friday night, and I suppose to be fair about it, it's probably, if you look at Dundalk, bar Stephen O'Donnell, to be fair to them, they have probably had a clean run for the last 2 seasons where they've nearly picked the same 11 right through, which has been phenomenal, and great credit is due to them. But I suppose for us, we have a few injury knocks, but at the same time, that certainly won't be any excuses from us. We don't make excuses. We work as hard as we can, and we play the best we can, and we're hoping that Friday night that'll be good enough for us.
So even at this early stage on Tuesday, there's fellas who are definitely out for Friday night.
Yes.
Could you elaborate on that?
We said last time, John, one of 3 might make it.
Yeah, it's very tight. I would say that probably. You see, it's very hard. It's very hard to call it this early in the week because, you've our physio's working nearly every day with the lads, and it's incredible. When you have guys with hamstrings, groins, it's amazing. In professional sport, with full-time treatment on them, a lot of things can go right up to the last minute. But I would be amazed if everyone turned around on Friday morning to say they were fit. Probably say they were fit, but I would be amazed that everyone would be okay. And at this moment in time, I'd say probably we have Shep, Flenny, Johnny Dunleavy, all major doubts. They all missed last night. Benno not as much so. I would see that at the moment that none of them trained this morning, so we'd have to wait until the Thursday morning. But I'd hope by Thursday Ben will be back training, but it's very much a wait and see at the moment.
With the way the weather is as well, everybody's enjoying it, and it will help the crowd obviously on Friday night, but the ground must be particularly hard for the lads at the moment, so if you have a knock it's tough.
Yes and no. Well, look, I suppose whether the weather is fine or not, the crowd on Friday night will be still massive, because the weather won't stop the crowd on Friday night, because everyone is looking forward to the game. From a weather point of view, yes, it's very warm. It's important for the lads to hydrate. From a pitch point of view, it's not too bad, because obviously Turner's Cross is watered very heavy for our matches, and we also, from our training point of view, we water our pitch every morning before training. So, to be fair to lads, it's not like they're running on concrete. The facilities in Bishopstown are quite good, and our pitch is quite decent. So, it's just one of those things. We have a hectic schedule playing every week, and anyone gets a knock or gets any bit of an injury, sometimes it's better off to rest them for a week or two to make sure that they don't miss 6 or 7 weeks, and that's what you look for. So, but look, we're looking forward to Friday night, and we're hoping we can give a good performance in front of a full house.
It's the last game of the season, John. Is it something that still ranked us with you in the squad, and is it a motivating factor heading into Friday trying to get revenge against Dundalk for last season?
To be honest, I think it's more of a media supporters thing rather than players. I think players are realistic in the sense that last season was last season. We did incredibly well. We got to Europe. We got to the last game of the season with a chance to win the league, and on the night we were probably a little bit unlucky. We never dwelt much on it, but if you look at it, sort of like, you could argue the first goal of the night that changed the match was a handball. Some referees would have given a free out, some didn't. But to be fair to Dundalk, they won the match in fair and square, and had beaten us 3 times. I think the difference this year, when you bring new players in, there's a different feeling in the team. There's a different belief in the team this year, and when you bring in quality people like Miller, Bennett, Shepherd, Jalali, these guys have been with successful teams and they've played at a serious level, and when you bring that type of person in with the likes of the people you have already, I think gives you different beliefs. So from a personal point of view, in the last season it was that last game of the season, of course we were all gutted afterwards, but this is a new season, and we have new targets this year, and we believe that we can stay right up there to the end. We know it's going to be very, very tough. We know there's not much between any of the top 3 or 4 teams, but at the same time it's not really revenge for last year. It's really about this year. We're on our 10th match. They're unbeaten. Our goal ratios is very similar. I think there's one goal between us, and we have I think we have the same number of clean sheets, so it's very, very tight on paper. So but the big thing this year is that we're twice at home, which you'd have to see. Hopefully we can use that to our advantage.
And you should be looking at a close to a sellout on Friday as well. What role do the fans have to play on Friday night?
Well, what I'm hoping on Friday night is that, which I'm sure will happen, is that the crowd come out early, create that atmosphere, because the crowd last season were phenomenal. Since the start of this year have been absolutely brilliant, because they've come into the ground early, created atmosphere, and there's no doubt about it that it gives the players a lift, and again I'm appealing to the crowd to come out early, come out in force. But to be honest, I think there's no doubt they will this week, and they'll have their voices with them, and I'm hoping that right from the start we can give them a performance that'll keep them rolling from the rafters.
So you're not surprised by Dundalk, this kind of second season syndrome? They're not suffering from it at all. And Kenny says it's difficult to win the league, but to retain it is even harder. And yet here they are, they're like us, still unbeaten. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't.
Serious contenders again this year, haven't won it last year.
Well, I suppose they're most people's favourites for the league, and
no Dundalk manager has won back-to-back titles in the history of the club, apparently.
Is that right? Yeah, but I'd say, has anyone in Cork? In the history of Cork soccer, I don't know. Billy, you're around long enough. You might know that. I'm still a young man. I can't. My mind doesn't go back that long. No, I suppose to answer the question is that.
I'm not surprised by the start
Absolutely. Sure, he kept his team. You know, like at the end of the day, if you look at like Stephen, he's kept 10 of his starting 11 team. Of course, he lost Hoban, but at the same time, Macmillan got 15-20 goals last year, so he's kept the same team he's had last year, and he's also brought in a few players. So when you look at it from that point of view, and Stephen is a shrewd manager. He's been around the league a lot. You know, he managed Longford, Derry, Rovers, Derry twice, been in Scotland. So Stephen's been around a long time, a very shrewd manager. So, and plus the fact, to be fair to Dundalk, no matter, I know a lot of managers don't like saying it, but I keep saying it. Everyone knows, they're a very good side, but the home pitch is a massive advantage to them. They're a brilliant team, and they're brilliant on grass as well. But there's no doubt, to have one team in your league playing on all weather and everyone else not. Of course, it's going to be an advantage, and no matter who's the manager in Dundalk, you'd have to admit that is an advantage. So that's why Dundalk will be the team to beat this year. Because they have that advantage. Not only have they a good team, but the fact that they have their plastic pitch.
Derry will have one next year.
Unfortunately, they will, and it's a horrible way to see where the league is going to. That people are allowing plastic pitches because, unfortunately, the standard of the pitches, there's a certain level that these pitches are supposed to be at, but certainly, when you go across Europe and you see all-weather pitches and you see the quality of some of them, Oriel is a million miles away from those, and for some reason there's a blind eye being turned to these pitches over here. So if they're to come in, you want them to be at the highest standard. And but personally speaking, I think for summer football there's no need. Everyone prefers grass. The players prefer grass, and to be fair, I think if you ask Stephen, you ask the Dundalk players, I'm sure they prefer grass as well. But look at. If Derry go down that way, which I believe they are, that's just the way it's going to be.
One on Friday night, obviously against the champions and the current league leaders. But are the squad generally, I presume you're happy with the start that's made, unbeaten after 9 games?
Yeah, considering that there's a lot more that we can give. Like, I don't think we've reached the maximum performance that we've done, apart from probably the Derry game and maybe a half hour at Drogheda. But like, there's another few gears we can go through, and hopefully now in the big games we take advantage of the crowd we're going to have and kick on. Yeah. And
those gears will be needed on Friday night, won't they? Really, because Dundalk are, they're the ones to knock down.
As John said, yeah, they are the favourites, and deservedly so. They've kept most of their same team, and they are a force in the league. Like, they've a very good bunch of lads. Like, so obviously we've had probably a better squad than we had last year, and we were only one game away from nicking the title. Like, so if we can just keep ourselves going, I think we'll be thereabouts towards the end of the season.
Do you think they'll come and play for the draw?
It's very early to be coming and playing for a draw. Like, as we've 24 games or whatever left in the league, I think it's going to be a good advert for the league this Friday. Obviously with a sellout crowd and that, and
TV cameras.
Exactly. I think everyone's just looking forward to the game. I think we did some very good games last year. I played in 2 of them for Cork. Like, so they were very tight games, and obviously the first game we played at home, they had a very late winner due to a mistake. So hopefully we can just not make any mistakes and get a valuable 3 points.
Ross, you've kept a lot of clean sheets this season, so you've got to be happy with that. And how happy are you overall with your own form?
We've kind of a settled back 5 with maybe Moza coming in, but I think we haven't conceded a goal from open play. I think it's been 2 set pieces, which we're delighted with. But that goes from everybody. If you look at the work rate of the boys up front, like, it's been terrific. And as I said, like, as a team, like, we're defending very well. And I think with the players we've brought in, we've got very good attacking options. And we've the likes of Michael McSweeney, lads that aren't even getting into the squad, onto the bench, and like, it just shows how good of a squad we have. And personally, I'm delighted with the way we've started, and we're not even a third through the season, so hopefully we can just keep going and manage to climb up the table. A couple more players to be nice.
I imagine for you as a left back, getting on the ball and looking up and seeing 3 Irish internationals looking for the ball must be quite a feeling.
Sheps, did he make a cap yet? No. Well, yeah, to be fair, like, they never hide. They always want the ball. Like, I think the only person I passed to last night was probably Healers. He just kept on showing for the ball, and it's delighted to play with him. Glad to have him back in the squad because he's a massive character for us. He steadies the ship when we need to be steadied, like, so it's great to have him back for Friday. It's great to have them options. I think like it's always good to have an option in the mix. Fullbacks look better than what they are. Just give the ball simple and cross a few balls in. I think that's what we're going to be trying this year.
I asked John this question: is revenge a motivating factor for you this week?
Nah, winning medals. I think we just need to kind of set a marker this weekend to show that we're here towards the end, and I think we'll start like a house on fire, and I think we'll hopefully get something.
So the game obviously takes on its significance for you, having played with Dundalk. How do you kind of approach it now from your own point of view, playing, you're coming up against players you would have played with before?
Yeah, like it's obviously Gary Rogers has gone there. He was there with Sligo with me. Like it's always good. I think it's a lot harder going up there, obviously with the pitch and stuff, and it's quite daunting to go up there to the pitch. But I think at home it could be anybody more than capable of getting 3 points on the night, and I'll just treat them like any other team. I think if we're gonna put a marker down to win this league, we need to have a massive performance Friday, and I think all the lads are willing to give it 100%, and we'll just go from there.
Does it help that you've kind of the former fellas like Darren Harden or Darren Meehan and people like that you might be coming up against on Friday?
Like, to be fair, young Cav's doing so well. I think he'd be more worried. I think Horgan will be more worried about what Cav's going to do, and I think Meehan the same. Like, I don't think we're worrying about them as long as we perform the way we can. I think if we start like we started against Derry and Drogheda, I think we'll do okay.
Well, how did you Dundalk?
How long was there?
Yeah,
I had 2 seasons.
2 seasons.
Yeah, 2 seasons.
You won
Didn't win anything there.
you didn't win it, didn't you?
Nope, didn't win a thing. They obviously won when I left.